So my name is Philip. I'm the founder and CEO of Opibus. We've been around in Kenya for about 3 years, extremely focused on accelerating the electric mobility evolution happening in this country and in the East African region. We're essentially working across 3 different business areas. We're building utility vehicles and making them electric. So what you have in front of you is an electric Land Cruiser. We're also doing Land Rovers, where we do a lot of public transport and try and get as many electric buses out there as possible. So behind us, that we'll see later, we have one of our electric buses. And the third leg that we also work a lot with is our electric motorways. And they really have a huge impact and a huge possibility to reduce carbon emissions in the country, as well as reducing the operating expenses for the border bikers, where they can make back around 50% more profit on a daily basis. It's a very valuable investment. So for a sedan today, wouldn't be a valuable investment, but for your commercial fleets, it saves you money from day one, and you have a very fast return on investment.
How long does it take to charge?
So depending on what charging system you buy from us, and we can customize that quite a bit as well. This one takes somewhere from 1.5 hours to around 8 hours. But usually charging only takes a couple of seconds, because for most of the time, you essentially just come home with your electric car, or you park it at your where you have your fleet of vehicles. Right? You plug in the charger, and you don't have to care about it, because most cars are just standing idle during the night. 95% of vehicles are being used for half an hour per day. The government and the parliaments and all the authorities are extremely helpful when it comes to making sure that we enable electric vehicles to hit the roads as many as possible, as soon as possible. So we're discussing with many different actors on how to reduce the price of electricity for electric vehicle charging and make sure that we get the right tariffs for that. So there is a lot of support on the policy side to make sure that this happens. And we're very happy to be one of the pioneers in this area to make sure that all of this infrastructure comes into place.
Okay, where do you source your batteries from? You manufacture them locally, or?
So we assemble the batteries here, and we assemble as much as we can here. So we have a target of making sure that we have at least 60% local content by 2025. So we try and do as many things here as possible and break the science down so that different experts can do different things. So South Korea is extremely good at manufacturing battery cells, and we're very good at assembling battery packs. Right? So we do battery packs here, but we do battery cells in other places, and that's the same for all of our different components that goes into this.
Okay.
Is that this is one electrical architecture of a drivetrain. So we have several different components that goes into making an electric car. We have motors, or control systems. We try to keep those as uniform as possible across our different vehicles. And what happens after that is that we bring a vehicle in, and we focus on the vehicles where we have a lot of either have a lot of volumes of those vehicles in the country, or we do have a lot of a very fast return on investment. So the more kilometers you drive, the more you save. And those are the vehicles that are very important to us. So what we do essentially is that we take a vehicle in, we remove the engine, and we fit a box to that type of vehicle. So now the Land Cruiser has a standardized design. So we can produce it on a line, and then we bring in any kind of Land Cruiser, and we put our kit inside there, and we essentially make sure that it's all fitting and it's all quality tested and inspected before, so that you can drive out with your car as an electric as soon as possible.
Should I buy this Land Rover, or
this is a Land Cruiser?
Land Cruiser.
You should buy it.
How long can I go with it? Like the range.
That we customize according to your needs, and that's why we want to make sure that we focus on the vehicles that has a short return on investment. So we do a lot of focus on commercial fleets and those kind of things because they have very specific driving needs. That means that we can take, if you only drive 30 kilometers per ride before you get back to your charging station, we can give you 50 kilometer range, or we can give you 100 kilometer range, depending on your driving needs, which means that we reduce the price for you as a purchaser of the vehicle. we can make sure that you get the best type of return on investment. And that's all thanks to our modular drivetrain system. The drivetrain being the sets of batteries and control systems and motor that goes into making it electric. You can put a charging station in your home very easily. You can also just connect your vehicle to your home outlet. So actually, charging points for electric vehicles are more than petrol stations, because you can charge it anywhere where you have an electricity outlet. And then it's just a matter of, do you just use the cable that comes with the car, or do you install a smaller station, or do you need to fast charge with a DC station?
Okay. In case, for example, I've charged my car and I want to go maybe to the rural area, where there is currently not all Kenyan rural area is covered by has electric. So what do we do in that case?
So the question on how to do it when you travel long distances, that's something that we are working around with focusing on commercial fleets. Because buses only drive from point A to point B.
Yes.
A lot of the utility vehicles move around in a circle. They go on a specific job somewhere and then they come back to their pay. And by doing it this way, we can make sure that we get more electric vehicles on the roads. And we can at the same time expand the infrastructure so that we can actually deploy charging infrastructure even in the rural areas.
On the website.
The price starts out at $39,000.
Yeah, I see.
Roughly around 4 million shillings.
Okay.
But it saves you somewhere between 50 to 80% of your operating expenditure.
Yeah.
So your cost for fuel, your cost for maintenance, service, all of that is almost completely removed, and what you're left with is a very small electricity cost.
Okay.
Manufacturing line, essentially with a capacity to produce up to 10 motorbikes per day coming out from here. So it's a fully electric motorbike, and we're right now making sure that we rework the designs to have everything locally manufactured on the frame side with swing arms and everything like that, so that we can make sure that we reduce the cost as much as possible, so that we can hit the price target of being at par with the Boxer 150, which is the comparable bike. But this electric bike has a lot more performance. It has a lot more carrying capacity. We can drive up hills with 250 kilos on it. It has quite fantastic specifications. The range ends up at 80 kilometers per one battery pack, but we have the possibility of carrying 2 battery packs on the same bike. And with that price level, it's essentially you stand then in front of the choice of saying, should I buy a petrol bike for the same price as an electric bike? But with the petrol bike, you spend almost 50% more on fuel, right? Whereas you reduce your cost with 50% on the electric bike. So the choice to us is pretty obvious, that you want to go electric because it saves you so much money. It increases your daily profit by so much that obviously you should go electric.
How many people so far have maybe used the OP bikes?
The Opibus, the Opibus bikes. We have launched around 50 of them so far, and we're launching another 100 right now, and then we're starting mass manufacturing towards the second half of this year.
Okay. So in case just a normal person wants to buy a bike, can come and buy it, or?
Right now it's all sold out, but soon we'll release it to be sold publicly to everyone, including financing options, leasing options, and all of that. But you can today go to our website and make a pre-order of a motorbike so that you end up high in the queue.
Okay.
Jag vet inte vad det är. Jag försöker räkna ut.